Hey guys, welcome to the bird's nest. Well. So the combine is underway. I don't know if any activities with the players have occurred yet. I'm not really keeping up. I don't care about the combine. I don't understand the point of it actually. But before I get into it, please like, comment, and subscribe for all your NFL recaps, news, and gossip. So, uh, the haters are sizzling like bacon right now because Coach Monken has been speaking glowingly about Shedeur. He has not been avoiding any questions. He said that Shedeur has elite playmaking ability. We already know that. And so that's kind of helping people accept the reality of the situation. Now, he has also spoken about Deshaun and saying, hey, once a player shows you elite traits, you always want to see if you can get that back. So, they're hoping Deshaun is in his best form. So, good for him. He did say that there will be a competition, but Andrew Berry has said that there will be a competition at every position. You know what I'm saying? Their thing is we're not naming any players that have secured their spot right now. They still have one more coach to hire, the assistant defensive line coach, I believe, and that's their last one, and then they'll be all done. And then now they're focused on the combine for now. I don't know why, but because to me, you've seen what those players can do in games. And the combine is, I guess, like seeing how fast they run is one good thing. But how important is that? But they record how fast they can run and how high they can jump, and that's cool. But I just don't see teams making decisions based on the combine. That's why none of the higher ranking quarterbacks participate. Because if they don't run fast enough, that could hurt them. If they don't, if they don't throw well to the receivers who they don't even know, they just meeting at the combine, that could hurt them. So a lot of the higher ranking quarterbacks do not participate. I know they made a big deal about Shedeur not participating, but he wasn't the only quarterback last year that didn't participate. So it's no big deal. But I did enjoy the press conference from Andrew Berry and Todd Monken. And the haters sizzling like bacon. I saw one hater say, why didn't you ask him about Dylan Gabriel? He's working hard and he's going to be competing. And then another person asked the Browns social media team, why didn't they post the part about Deshaun? Because, guys, Shedeur is QB1. They only posted about Shedeur. So, there will be a competition to the extent I believe what Miles said. He said, we're looking at Shedeur as the guy. He got first dibs. And people are like, well, Miles has not even spoken to Coach Monken yet, so how can he make that determination? Well, because Coach Monken said, I don't pick the quarterback. The players pick the quarterback. Well, the players had already picked Shedeur. So, like Miles said, Shedeur will be getting first dibs on that QB1 job. And that doesn't mean that Deshaun can't get it from him. If Deshaun shows out in OTAs, but you know what? OTAs are not mandatory, first of all. So, we'll see who shows up to OTAs. In my humble opinion, players on a losing team, they need to be motivated. You can't tell them to go. It's not mandatory, but they should go. Because they stunk up the place last season and they need all the practice they can get. And Shedeur needs them. I have a strong feeling that Shedeur will go to OTAs. Because he needs that development, but I don't know how many first team players will be there, particularly the wide receivers. That's what's most important for him. How many of them will be there, and the tight ends will be there to work with him. If they're not there, then it's kind of useless for him. But even if Isaiah Bond goes, and I hope he does, that would be helpful for Shedeur. So we'll see what happens there. But someone did ask him, and this was a very good question, asked him if he expected that the quarterback would be identified by the time they go into training camp. And he said that's the expectation. He didn't say it was guaranteed. He said, but yeah, that is the norm. That's the expectation. Which solidified my belief that Kevin Stefanski was crazy last year because he went into training camp without identifying the quarterback. And he was still splitting reps between 4 quarterbacks in training camp. And to me, that seems like you aren't preparing your quarterbacks. First of all, before training camp, Joe Flacco was barely getting reps. And everybody was saying, oh, he doesn't need reps because he's a veteran. He has not played with those wide receivers before. He needs the reps for that. And he wasn't getting them. He was barely ever getting reps before training camp. So really, it was Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel splitting the majority of the reps. The quality reps with the first and second team. And I guess it was mainly Kenny Pickett, actually, because Dylan didn't get 1,000,000 reps with the first team. He got some, but he didn't get a lot. He would go and throw to the second and third team people most of the time. So this year, during OTAs, I don't know if they got to make the decision before that. There is mandatory minicamp before training camp. Maybe that's where Deshaun could maybe shine. He would have to outshine Shedeur. But I don't think he will. Because Deshaun is 30 years old and banged up at this point. And Shedeur got those fresh legs because him a baby. Him still baby. So I don't think Deshaun's going to show him up. But he has the opportunity. Unlike what was presented to Shedeur last season when he was never even allowed to be in the competition. But I expect going into training camp, they're going to say Shedeur's QB1. He getting all the reps. We are developing him to be QB1. We'll see what happens in free agency and in the draft. But that's my expectation. So, Shedeur's explosive plays, he likes that. a lot. And then I saw a person today, because now they're like, oh, shoot, they really like this guy. Damn it, man. We want him to fail. One guy said, well, if you want to have a running back as your QB1, okay. But they never win Super Bowls. That made me smile. I said, you know, I like that. I have never heard anybody refer to Shedeur as a running back before. That scrambling game on point, huh? He ain't even refuted. He admits that Shedeur's game is much more impressive than they thought. And so that boy can scramble. Yes, he can. He can wiggle his way out of some things. Yes, he can, and he showed that. And so I just really love that hater identified another good trait that Shedeur has. And he said he had to really like break it down and say, identify a third tier. See, it had to be third tier because it was first tier, and they leading the team and rushing like Shedeur did at times. I guess that didn't support his argument, so he said third tier. Whatever, bruh. Shedeur is not a third tier quarterback. And so that scrambling is great. I know that Monken loves it. I don't know if Monken had any time to work on a playbook, but if he has, I'm sure Shedeur is pouring over that thing. So he'll be ready when it's time to get out there and take that job. I don't care about no competition. I ain't scared of nobody that they got or anybody that they could possibly get. None of them. The media, like I said, anything they claim, I'm not, even if the Browns say it themselves, I'm not taking it for granted that it's true. But they say that the Browns are looking at Ty Simpson and Malik Willis. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I'm not taking for granted that they are. Because they can't afford Malik Willis. They can't afford to pay him. They were saying $30 million a year. I looked at a thing today that said now they up to $35 million a year for Malik Willis, who has played in 6 games in 4 years. Started 6 games in 4 years. And I think he won like 2 of them. So I just don't believe that. We'll see what happens. Hello to anyone that's there. Not a lot of comments. Hello. But yeah, I just wanted to share that wonderful news that Coach Monken sounds very excited about Shedeur, and he almost is giving the other quarterbacks the Kevin Stefanski treatment that he used to give to Shedeur, saying Shedeur and the other quarterbacks in the room. Who's that? That's not Shiloh, is it? No. The other quarterbacks in the room, Shedeur and the other quarterbacks in the room. It's always that with Monken. It's been that from day one. So that's why I believe Shedeur's QB1 is already decided. And even when the other guys had the opportunity to show something, they'll be getting that opportunity with less reps than Shedeur gets. That's what I think is going to happen. So since they called it a competition, just like Kevin Stefanski did last year, I'm hoping that ESPN Cleveland will do the quarterback tracker again so we can keep track. Because this time, instead of keeping track of Shedeur getting reps with trainers and trash cans and fourth and fifth string players who are no longer in the league, he'll be getting quality reps. So we'll really get to see what that looks like, and see how many reps the other guys are getting. Because that is one good thing that Kevin Stefanski did for the rest of the team when he had all those quarterbacks getting reps, is that guys that normally wouldn't get reps were getting them in other positions. You know, the fourth and fifth string wide receivers. You know, you could work your way up because you were getting reps with Shedeur. That's who they was getting reps with. So they may not have been sharpening him, but he was definitely sharpening them. So that was a good thing. And it won't be Shedeur sharpening those guys anymore. It'll be Dylan Gabriel and whoever else they might bring in. It does seem like right now, you never know what they're going to do in free agency and the draft, but right now, it seems like Deshaun has got QB2 locked in. Provided Shedeur wins QB1, like it's not going to be Dylan. It's not going to be Dylan. I'd like Dylan to be QB2, and I hope he shows something. But right now it's sounding like Deshaun. Which I'm moving over for you, brother. I'm moving over for you. So we'll see how it all works out. I just want to share that good news. I was really excited about it. I knew I was going to like what Monken said, because when Andrew Berry did his presser yesterday, he was saying, I'm not going to say too much. That's for Coach Monken to address. So I was really looking forward to Coach Monken's presser, and he's had a couple today, and he was glowing about Shedeur the whole time, because he knows what that boy has, because he done studied him already. So we got a fun off season coming, and let's see what happens. What's today, the 25th? I believe free agency opens March 11th, and people will start making moves. Then we'll start seeing where are people going to go. Where is Russell Wilson going to go? Where's Jameis Winston going to go? Malik Willis, I think he's going to go somewhere. Where's he going to go? Where's Kyler Murray going to go? Who's going to get traded from the Browns? If they want to trade for someone, because they need O-linemen real bad, they need a wide receiver or two real bad, they're going to have to get some of those in free agency, or they're going to have to trade for them. So we wasn't even thinking about that, really. Nobody wasn't really talking about that. But some of them they're going to have to trade for, and that means somebody going to have to go. Somebody that's worth something. So I know I saw somebody mentioning Emerson. That's the one that got hurt in training camp and ended his season. Somebody's thinking that he's a potential trade candidate. I don't know what his value would be after missing a whole season, but we'll see. So many interesting things are about to occur. And we'll get questions answered, at least in free agency. I don't know when the trade part starts. When can you do that? They should have traded Njoku, since they weren't keeping him. They should have traded him and got something for him at the trade deadline during the season. Was he injured at the time? I think he was injured at the time. Might as well have traded him then and got something for him. Now he'll be a free agent. They won't get anything for him. So that's that. we'll see where he ends up. I hope he gets in shape. He gained a lot of weight last season, like visibly. His tummy got big. Oh, and Andrew Berry said what Shedeur needs to be doing right now is working on his physical conditioning and learning the playbook. Because hi D4. I made this observation about a lot of quarterbacks. So something just fell off somebody's truck. Oh, okay. It's closed and more stuff gonna fall off. Anyway, I made this observation about quarterbacks. It wasn't just Shedeur, it was practically every quarterback. They aren't the most muscular guys in the world. But interestingly, I saw a picture of Kyler Murray yesterday, and he is muscular. And Russell Wilson is muscular. And guess what else they are? Short. So I wonder if because they're short, they have to be more muscular. Shedeur is not muscular. I be staring him down looking for his muscle definition. He got it in the legs a little bit, but the arms, none of that. So maybe by the time we see him in a uniform next season, he'll be more muscular. Because that is something Andrew Berry said he got to work on that. His physical conditioning. So we'll see what does that mean. We'll see what does that mean. Shedeur's a big boy. He's tall and he's big. So we'll see what that translates to. Does he want to get bigger? Does he want to get slimmer? Does he want to get, just more muscle tone? So we'll see how that works out. I just want to check in because I was really, really excited about seeing Coach Monken be excited about Shedeur. Kevin Stefanski was not. So it's nice for him to be in this position right now. And he's going to get out there and work. He was going to do that no matter what. Next season, in 2027, when he is solidified as the franchise quarterback, he's still going to work hard. He doesn't need a carrot. The Super Bowl is his carrot. He wants that. So, we'll see how it goes. I just wanted to check in. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you next time. Please, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Mwah.